Hi, welcome to everyone that's just joined online, and I think that we'll have a bit of a short webinar today, and we'll probably get started in another 15 seconds or so. We'll just leave it until 2 minutes after for everyone to join. And if you don't mind, on your side, for all the participants, if you could just keep your mics muted for the parts in which I'm presenting at least, and then we'll all have some time for questions at the end of some materials that I'll show you here. Okay, so I'll share my screen. This is being recorded and will be accessible on our website for everybody after the fact. And as I said, it's a fairly short slide deck, mostly focused on some of the logistics for the upcoming meeting, or the upcoming experiments at the EREF SimFlex controlled release site. And our experimental priorities we described last time. So we're focused on we have a very broad focus actually for this round of experiments because we're spending longer in the field. We have 3 weeks, as you know, 2 weeks in or 1 week in May and 2 weeks in June. And so we will be doing surface emission measurement methodologies for leak detection, more detection focused, remote point sensors, mobile sensors, aerial and satellite imaging. And we will try to give everybody as much time as they need to do their measurements. And we've received many materials from you that describe your requirements in terms of on-site time to cover the search area. So in the upcoming phase, we've been waiting for documents from all the participants to come in, and we have a good number. We received many by April 18th, that is last week, but some trickled in over the weekend, and we're still waiting for a few more. So I just would urge everyone to please submit their documents if they haven't yet, because it's important for us to have confirmation of your participation and also some description of your availability so that we can build the final schedule. So that's really important for us to have as soon as possible. And if you're working on it and about to try to upload those to Anna, then at least please indicate to her that they're coming if they haven't already. So our first test period is May 12th to 18th, and we're focused in this period, as I described last time, on technologies and methodologies that we've tested previously. And previous campaigns were done in cooler, less hospitable weather, and these campaigns this spring should be quite pleasant. And so in some ways more favorable, and in other ways maybe less favorable as well, with more plume lofting expected, I think, at the site with more heat. So anyways, we're having bringbacks, especially in May, and that's our primary focus, although we'll probably be doing some other things in that period. And then June 2nd to 15th is the time that we come back after a short break, and we'll be testing aerial imaging and satellite methodologies along with some surface emission measurement tools and draft OTMs. So anyway, some deviations from this ideal schedule is expected on our side based on availabilities, because sometimes we just can't get people inserted into the times that we need, and so we may have to move them to the other period. So there will be some crossing between the experimental priorities, and if you're interested in reviewing those, please just check the last webinar because they were reviewed at greater length there. So in terms of scheduling, this is what everyone will be interested in right now, is the fine schedule, and that will be developed once the final participant list is established, so that when all the documents are submitted and when the insurance has been approved and all those things, then that's the time we will be able to release the detailed schedule. And the detailed schedule will define particular segments of time during the aforementioned time blocks when each participant is expected to be on site. So normally we wouldn't have anybody on site for a full week. There will probably be a few, but normally we recognize that you have other work that you're doing at the same time, and that you can't necessarily spend 7 days or 2 weeks at the site, but that we'll have you there probably for 3 or 4 days. And so The exact 3 or 4 days that we choose, we'll let you know as soon as possible, as soon as we have the final participant list. And I think we're quite close to that now. So I think in the coming days, you'll receive some sort of specific time slots, like during times that you've indicated you're free, that you can participate. And those will be your participation dates. And we normally ask for usually an extra day on top of what we know that we definitely need. And we will be careful to ask you, especially if you have a methodology that's weather sensitive, we'll normally ask for a little bit of extra time from those particular vendors because we could easily have days in which winds are too high, for example, to fly drones. And so anyways, we just want to build in a little bit of slack to your schedule. So when we send the initial requests, there will normally be a little bit of slack built in there um, based on our planning of a particular time of year at the site. And then the schedule will always be adjusted somewhat on the fly, just as we cope with changes from weather conditions, or sometimes we have slots that that we need to fill because something has happened to the schedule of a particular participant, and they need to adjust slightly, and when we're left with open time blocks that we want to fill. And so you can expect, if this is your first time participating, that there will also be some small adjustments on the fly, but they're almost never disadvantage anybody. They're often will advantage people because there'll be more time available for doing particular types of things, as long as we have good weather most of the time. Because we do plan for some down days. We don't know when they'll occur, but we do incorporate those into our planning. So in terms of logistics, we will be on site from April 29th onward. Not all of us, obviously, but we have a good crew going to site to begin the preparations, and preparations involve obviously inspecting all of the pipeline equipment from last year, reinstalling flow controllers, modifying many of the release locations, and we have, as mentioned previously, we've had we've had the opportunity to be able to expand the number of release locations and the capacity of the site. So anyways, we'll be busy doing that and doing some earth moving after April 29th, but before the initial release dates. And so participants can ship equipment directly to site, but please let us know if those things are coming to site, and we can coordinate with addresses and with other shipping arrangements. And then some items can take longer to ship. For example, drone batteries often need to be shipped ground. And anyways, just please build in that time when you're planning to move your equipment around. If you're traveling from outside of Canada, and we have quite a number of participants that are coming from outside of Canada, we will provide you with a letter of invitation to the project to facilitate border crossing. So that letter will describe your purpose for being in Canada and the fact that it's a temporary crossing. And anyways, it gives the border guards just an understanding of why you're there and why they should let you in. And so we have not had problems previously for anybody that has had this letter, and Anna can provide that letter for you. And so you can just work back and forth with Anna, and Anna is the individual who's been accepting your documents and doing much of the project communications lately. Anna just flipped her camera on there. Anyways, Anna is happy to provide that letter for you, and sometimes specific adjustments are required for specific situations, and we want your names to be in there, for example, and so we need to know the individuals traveling. So you can coordinate that with Anna. And an important part of the logistics during the campaigns is the communication component. And so we have a Telegram channel basically that we use to communicate with both those on-site and those off-site. So for example, the satellite participants are interested to know when they see the overpass coming that we're ready, and that that we've cleared the site and that we have mission set up for them. and that the release occurs and then it ends at a particular time. All that can be tracked with Telegram. So I'd urge everybody to join the Telegram channel. We probably won't be very active on that channel, excuse me, until right before the releases or just as they begin. But everybody, whether you're on site or off site, can access that channel. There is cell service in around the site, and it's weak in some places, right at the bottom of the landfill slope, for example, but it typically is a little bit better as you move out into the roads, or if you're up on the landfill hill itself, then that's a good place for cell service. So everyone will be connected, and this channel provides an opportunity for people to communicate back and forth. And in particular, you'll see Rafi posting something like normally every 10 minutes or something like that every day, or maybe not every 10 minutes, but very frequently at the beginning and end of experiments to just to coordinate the partners and to mark the start and end of different experiments and emissions scenes. So if anybody has any difficulty joining the Telegram channel, I was checked the link this morning and it seems to be working well. Anyways, just let us know, but that's worked well in the past, and so just allows everybody, whether they're around the world or anywhere they are around the world, to keep track of what's going on site at every moment. For travel and lodging, it's a rural environment, and so a car is generally required to get around. So there'll be quite a number of you driving to site already, and so that's no problem. But for others that are flying in, a rental car from Toronto Airport, for example, is generally the way to go. And there are good options for local lodging. So Petrolia itself is a pretty small town, and it does have some Airbnb sort of rental units available. The small city of Sarnia, which has population of about 80,000, is only about 20 minutes away, and so it offers some hotels and many good options there. And there are also numerous coastal communities in and around the southern part of the Great Lakes, and so there are Airbnbs that are available, and I would expect that they'll probably be more available in May than in June, because June we're really into the summer weather, and I think the houses that may get rented will be occupied at that time by the people that own them. The weather at site at present is pretty comfortable. It's about 20 degrees, and anyway, skies have been generally clear the last few days. It's quite a bit cooler than that in Nova Scotia still, and so our field team looks forward to getting out to Southern Ontario in the next few days for setup. So very important thing for everyone that will be actually attending on site is to review the safety documents in the SimFlex website. And there are several things to pay attention to. So there's an emergency response plan, and that's ours. There's also requisite training to do for WM. So WM is our host. They own and operate the landfill, and they have specific requirements as to training. And if you have completed their training documents for prior releases before coming on site, you'll need to do it again. They must be done annually. So even I have to do mine again, and our whole field team will have to do theirs again. It's an annual requirement, and so make sure, please, that those are up to date. And the completion cards from passing the WM training should go to Anna, so that we have confirmation that you have the WM training in place. And then we have safety protocol on the SimFlex website that does govern just sort of the general safety requirements. It's a safe site. It's not really an operating landfill, as I think everybody knows. So we don't have heavy machinery moving around. It's a grassy hill. It's a park, but there still are site hazards, and it is an active there's an active waste to energy facility in the northwest corner, and so anyways there still are hazards around, and anyways we need everyone to adhere to the safety protocol. So please also bring your PPE, your personal protective equipment. So we need high-vis vests and steel-toed boots. And I think that Everybody who's shipping gear can ship their PPE at the same time if they like. And for those attending tours and at a few points in June, we'll have groups coming in to see the site. We'll be able to provide high-vis vests at the time, and as long as you have rugged footwear, I think for the purposes of a tour, if we're not working on site for a short-term visit, that should probably be sufficient. So, anyways, safety training is important for everyone who will actually be on site and attending on site. And the WM training is not onerous, but it does need to be done. So just a recap of some of the resources that are available. So there's our website, and the website this year has all the documents available. I think that we have, of everyone submitted participation documents, we have the questionnaires. The questionnaires are important for us to understand how long you need in the field to measure the defined area. And anyways, there are shape files there and other GIS files that define that. And yeah, we have overview participation documents, and I think maybe some past weather files. The safety training documents are clearly available there too, and also the participation agreements if you have not filled those out. And I actually know we have a couple of potential participants on the call here today. That's where all the information lies. And as I said, this webinar will also be posted to the website sometime soon, or linked to from the website sometime soon, so that it's available to you afterwards. So anyways, Anna is your main contact at this time. So Halil and Rafi, and you may have been in touch with Halil and Rafi previously. They'll be on site from April 29th doing preparations, and so they may be less available. So Anna should be probably your main point of contact, and I'll keep trying to float any questions in threads that I'm a participant in right now. But anyways, if you're interested in reaching those important documents, the QR code is available here. And I think that's it for the presentation right now. And so I imagine that some of you are going to have questions about logistics, and we're happy to try to answer those now, and also happy to keep following up if some of them are live threads that are already going on by email. So does anyone have questions at the moment? If you do, please just raise your hand, and we can go one by one. Okay, Blake?
Hi, guys. Quick question, and this may be something we can take offline with Anna, but for vendors that are utilizing any kind of surface equipment for monitoring, I know you had indicated, most folks will be out there for, somewhere between 3 to 4 days. Would those 3 to 4 days include the time needed for installation for any of these companies?
So normally for instrumentation that will stay out there, continuous monitors, what you're talking about, some type of tripod or stationary system that will sit in place
Yes.
for a while.
Yes, sir. So our company, we utilize OGI gas monitoring cameras, and
Mhm.
so we just need to go out there, and installation takes just about a day. So I just didn't know if that would be considered a part of those 3 to 4 days, or if we needed to plan logistically to get there before at some point.
Yeah, what most of the others do for their stationary setups is to leave those stationary setups for the duration of the experiments through both the May time period and the June time period. And if only one is possible, that's fine as well, because that allows that allows for more testing opportunities,
Right.
obviously. And so we have different participants coming in with emissions large and small, and it was sort of unique opportunity to be able to try to image all of those different situations. And then so we do encourage that stationary monitors get set up early on, and they get left for the duration if possible. And you can coordinate setup times prior to the beginning of the release experiments with our team. And as long as they're on site, then shouldn't be any problem. And as long as the safety documents have been completed and all that stuff, that we can normally arrange for some time a little bit beforehand. And if it does occur during one of the periods, that should probably be okay as well. There are some times when we'll want everybody off of site, and so that would be the only constraint. It's a little bit more flexible to deploy them beforehand, before emissions begin. And then importantly, there's also an exclusion zone as well, where we don't want powered equipment too close to some of the release nodes that have very high capacity and where we expect high concentrations nearby, and we want to remove any explosion risk from those those areas. And so we do have an exclusion zone for powered equipment, and so it's important to go back and forth on that with Rafi in particular. And so Anna can connect you with Rafi as well. Rafi or Halil will be the best people to talk to about some of that those on-site installation needs. That's a good question though. Does that answer? Is that the full answer for you, or do
Yes,
you have
sir.
any
Yes, sir. I
questions?
think so. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks. And I did see another hand go up at one point, but I think I don't see one at the moment. Or maybe it was in the chat. Oh, Jarrett. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Jarrett, we can definitely talk about that offline. And Rafi is as Rafi's finishing the report, I know that he's been moving materials out to people who've been requesting it from the last round, and so we can try to get to you any of the information that would help you basically for the future.
Great, thanks, Dave.
And are there any other questions out there at the moment? Okay, if not, I think we'll wind it up there. And as I said, this information will be online, but I also think the access to documents is great, and access to us is pretty good as well. So in particular, reach out to Anna for any questions with documents. If you haven't had the documents in, please get them in if you don't have them in, please get them in as soon as possible, because that allows us to get the final schedule out. And I think that that's the most important right now, because we know that everyone is needing to arrange shipping of equipment and booking hotels and that sort of thing. So anyways, we look very much forward to seeing you on site, and I'll see you next in May. I think this will be our last formal webinar probably, because normally remaining logistical items can be taken care of by direct email. So thanks everyone today for participating, and we'll see you soon. Oh,
Dave,
Kayvon?
can you stay a few minutes longer? I just wanted to check something with you.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine actually. So what we'll do is we'll sign off and we'll finish the recording, and then if you want to hang around here for a few moments, then we can chat further. We'll just let everything close down. So okay. Thanks everyone.
Thank you so much.